Folks, welcome. My name is Paco. Tonight is going to be a special night because we technically, pretty much all the time, we have singers here. And at the end of the show, you see them perform a little a cappella. Not so tonight, folks. 30 minutes of madness is about arts, music, and entertainment. And if I can wrap up these three contents in one, it's a special guest tonight, Jocovi Lindsey. You can hear a little bit about him, and later on we're going to find out how we can keep in touch with him. So, get ready for 30 minutes of madness.
Welcome to the 30 Minutes of Madness with your girl Millie Maddness here, and it's my pleasure today to introduce my next guest, which is Jocovi Lindsey. Now, he has been voted a hometown hero. He's a music business extraordinaire, and he brings so much to the table. We're going to talk a little bit about entertainment and nonprofit, but welcome. It's such an honor to have you on this show. Thank you.
It's an honor to be here. I feel blessed and privileged.
Oh man, I just want to dive right in. There's so much to talk about.
Let's get to it.
I've known you for some time, but for those who don't know you and don't know anything about you, just tell us where you're from. Where were you born?
Born and raised in Vineland, New Jersey.
Okay.
I'm a Vineland kid, South Jersey, Cumberland County.
All right.
About me, I was always interested in entertainment and music and stuff like that. I'm tall, right? So I'm 6'4" right now. So people always be like, "Hey, did you play ball? You played ball?"
Yeah.
But I was like, nah. I was just always into. What I was into the music, into the business and just different things, so I was just outside of, what it is that they would have assumed for me being as tall as I am. But born and raised in New Jersey.
That's awesome. So who did you grow up listening to, like in your youth? Like who was your kind of like inspiration, or what kind of music were you into?
Well, my mother and my father, they always had music around the house.
Yeah.
Music collection of records and all that, that same old thing. So I grew up in a household where music was always there. My dad was a heavy Motown music listener.
Nice.
Motown, Smokey Robinson, The Temptations, David Ruffin, just things like that. And my mom was a big Frankie Beverly and Mays, fan. So I was always listening to, to that type of music. And then, in the 80s, I remember when I heard my first rap song, I was sitting on the back of my grandma's porch, and one of the guys from the neighborhood came walking up, and he had his boombox, and he was playing Rapper's Delight. And that was like, I was like, yo, what's that? And he was like, "Oh, that's Rapper's Delight, do." And he was telling me, and I that old question, when did you fall in love with hip hop? It was instantly right then and there. So boom,
it was love at first sound.
Yeah, love at first sound right away. And then listening to people in my neighborhood that was older than me that had also picked up on the art and was doing their thing. We had artists like Wills and Classy T, from the neighborhood, Maris Maven, and those guys that were doing their thing. So, just listening to that inspired me to make me say, okay, it can happen because I see people in my neighborhood doing it, and it made me want to do it too. So I just stepped out and, kept pursuing it.
So what was that turning point where like in school, were you into like the talent shows or things like that? Like what was that point where you went from like, wow, I could do this too, to like, oh man, I'm doing it, like what was that turning point, that moment?
Somewhat in the talent shows, we did a couple talent shows at school, but, we started getting outside of the box. You know, we started
Yeah.
doing the shows in Philly, Delaware, New
Nice.
York, and stuff like that. You know, really wanting to get outside of the box because, you know, people were saying, "Oh, you guys are good. You know, you really should do something." And, you know, so we wanted to, you know, that was home. So we wanted
Yeah.
to really test our worthiness. So we, you know, went outside of our safety bubble, you know what I mean?
Ooh, that's
and really,
brave.
yeah, and really tested it. I mean, we were everywhere. We were always gone. And, you know, so I try to inspire, you know, the kids here now, you know, or anybody. If it's something that you want to do, you know, and if everybody home is telling you that you're okay, you're good, you know, it's great. Take it outside of that now. You know what I mean? And expand, you know, expand your vibration, expand your reach, and, you know, and get out there into those other markets and test those waters and show and prove what you got.
So when you say we as in like you had a group going on?
Yes. I had a group by the name of the Stormtroopers. You know,
Stormtroopers,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. And the
All
reason
right.
behind the name, you know, I was, you know, we all were at the time, you know, big Star Wars fans. But the reason why we attached the name Stormtroopers to what we were doing was because the storms of life are unpredictable and can happen at any given time.
Yes.
And unlike your daily weather report that warns you of the weather 5 days in advance, the storms of life are unpredictable and they can happen at any given time.
Amen.
So in order for you to survive, maintain, or elevate, you got to be a trooper.
Yes, I
Stormtrooper.
love that. That's deep. That's very deep. I love that, and it's the truth. So,
Very much so.
so you like, how was it? So, did you get that warm welcome? Because I don't know how it is, but like on the streets, like, you know, territory, like, oh, they came from here. Like, did you, when you went and branched out, did you feel the love?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know what the thing was, we you know, we didn't have the mindset of it was a competition thing. We were just moving to improve ourselves.
Yeah.
So it wasn't the need for the love. We had definitely appreciated any love that we received from anyone outside, but we wanted to continue to build on ourselves. And
Right.
you know, and that pushed us. Next thing you know, we were sitting next to, you know, the same celebrity that people back home would be watching on TV.
Nice.
Allen Iverson, at the time when he was playing, Allen Iverson did a weekend, All-Star weekend in Houston.
Yeah.
And, you know, he flew all of us out
All-Star's
there.
big.
Yeah, he flew all of us out there as a special guest for All-Star weekend. And we had a whole
What?
weekend. We partied with Allen Iverson, had a great time. You know, met a lot of good people.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, that's awesome. So you went from kind of like dreaming about it to doing it, and now you're like alongside with celebrities. Like,
Yeah.
how far did this go? Like, what are some of the like highlights of
I would say
that you guys, you know,
some
got
of
to?
the top of the highlights, of course, is, you know, making it. You know, we charted on 3 charts in Billboard magazine.
What?
Yeah, the sales charts, the hot tracks charts, and the top 200.
Yes.
One great moment. We were at a tribute that they were doing for the late Big L in New York, and all of the special invited guests were. They were like downstairs, and we were at the world famous SOBs in New York.
Yeah, I know it's so beast.
So, and Tretch came over from Naughty by Nature, and he was like, "Oh, you know what I mean? You guys are Stormtroopers, boom, boom." And he's like, "Yo, this one track you guys got, I love it." And that was like, oh, because, you know, you got Tretch from Naughty by Nature, you know what I mean, up in North Jersey. So that was like Jersey representing, and, you know, that meant a lot to us right there as well, too. Yeah. And then another, you know what I mean, at the same All-Star weekend we were at with Allen Iverson, and where he had us seated, you know what I mean, that whole weekend we were always seated right next to the Locks with Jada Kiss and Styles and Sheik and all those. So yeah, that was big too.
That's dope. I love that. You know, and that is such an inspiration, especially to our viewers and our youth and talent. People that want to do things, is just sky's the limit. If you kind of follow your heart, your journey, your passion, your inspiration, like
Yeah.
You know,
And
it's possible.
and continuing to to push yourself to to test. Never be satisfied. You know what I mean? Always appreciative, but never satisfied, and continue to push yourself to the next plateau, to the what's next.
Yes,
It's
yes.
very important.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's always about the what's
Yeah.
next.
And that's why now, even now with what's going on, a company, Imperial Entertainment Group, with the artists that we're developing now from the area, and there's some amazing talent, here in South Jersey, in Cumberland County, some amazing talent that's out here. So, putting them on that straight line, to success, into the outer world, other than the world we live in here
Yeah.
in Cumberland County, but expanding them out. So you're taking their mindset out and taking their talents out, to the rest of the world, so the rest of the world can see what they have to offer, because we have a very unique talent set here. I mean, you have plenty of artists that came out of here. You have Gina Thompson, and then ironically her nephew Lil Steph, and then the Latin artist. What was his name from Violin? I can't think his name. Used to have the studio on Lannis Avenue. That's been, we're getting in the Grammys and stuff like that. So there's so much going on. We got producers in this area. Producer Don Beats, who produced for Jadakiss and Redman and a few other people, and Don Beats is right there, in 6th Street in Violin. You got a couple cats out here in Bridgeton, that are doing their thing production wise and and artist wise. It's just so much.
So I'm gonna stop you right there, because I want to take the people like on the journey as to how did you go into, decide to come back, and you started this business where now you're like, okay, I'm going to mentor, a lot of these talented individuals that are here. Like how did that come about? Like, tell us a little bit about,
Well,
fast forward to today, how you have a business.
When I originally left Violin, I moved out to LA. I was out in LA for a while, and then I moved from there to Miami, and was in Miami for 10 years. And I always found myself in some of the most amazing places, whether it be work experiences or events, and surrounded by some of the people, again, that in my mind, I'm like, this is situations or people that people back home just see on TV or read about.
Yeah.
And I always, wanted, home to be able to experience it. But, truth be told, at the time, I was like, there's no way that I would be interested in going back home, because home had nothing to connect me back to this, world.
Right. Right.
And then my father had gotten sick, and I came back home to help my father, during those times. And in doing so, I saw that the area needed help with, with changing the global outlook on the, for these kids, because their mindsets were so clouded, diluted, imprisoned, if I may, by their own hand, somewhat, based on the lack of outlets that were giving to them, so they shut themselves down, and dampened their creativity. So I said, you know what? The arts was an outlet for me, and getting away.
Yeah.
Because I growing up in the area, I've seen some scary things and been through, situations that I don't wish on nobody. So, being that arts was my outlet out, I know it can be the same outlet for the rest of our youth here. So, I kind of put my money where my mouth is, as they say, and put my actions towards doing just that, creating a situation where we can get all of the youth from the area and get them involved in situations that allow them to be able to express themselves positively rather than destructively.
Awesome. That's incredible. And I think it's, such a blessing. I think the whole journey and how now you're able to kind of give back.
Yeah.
I do want to touch a little bit more about this. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about more about where you're at and what's going and what's next for you and a whole bunch more. So when we come back right after these messages, more of Jocovi Lindsey on 30 Minutes of Madness. See you back.
Are you tired of people talking about the past? We are too. We are taking TV to the next level. On QBC TV 22, we have an amazing selection of original content, starting from local celebrity interviews to straight up madness. This isn't just our TV station, it is your local TV station. Turn to QBC TV 22 right now to see what we are watching together.
Welcome back to the 30 Minutes of Madness with your girl, Millie Maddness, here with Jocovi Lindsey. And we're going to continue where we left off and talk a little bit more about his business, where he's at, where we can find him, and what's popping.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
So tell us.
So the name of one side of my business, Imperial Entertainment Group.
Imperial Entertainment Group.
Yeah. Located 219 West Landis Avenue in Vining, New Jersey. That's where we have our online radio station, Elevation Radio.
Okay.
Yeah, elevationradio.com, Elevation Radio on all of your social media. And that's ELEV, the number 8, TION, radio. Our recording studios are there, our event space is there. And on that side, that's where we have, our label, our film production company and stuff like that. Now, on the nonprofit side, with my ultimate mission with helping the kids, Project Inspiration.
Okay, Project Inspiration.
Yeah.
So tell us about your nonprofit. Like, what is that about?
Okay, well, Project Inspiration is our outlet to be able to engulf our area's youth fully in the arts. So audio engineering, video engineering, photography, graphic design, painting, dance, acting, coding, video game development, you name it. Yeah, every aspect of it, from fashion, the whole gambit of the arts. We're pushing that on the youth and giving them an outlet to be able to come and participate. Now, we do some of that at 219 West Landis Avenue as well on the audio side. And our new location for our visual side of Project Inspiration is 513 Southeast Boulevard in Violin.
I was just about to say, you do all of that in that one location. So now you have two establishments.
Yes.
And you have like a whole video production. Like, oh my God, that's like, wow.
Yeah, just truly trying to give these kids here an opportunity, as I said earlier, to be able to expand their minds, expand their creativity, and give them an opportunity to hands-on learn some things that in the real world that they'll be able to, if they go to seek employment for some of these things that they're getting trained in, they'll be able to make some pretty good money.
Wow.
Doing it.
So hold on, let me get this straight. This is all going down in Vining?
Yes.
This is, I dare say, is never before done.
Oh, trust me, I know. Born and raised about it. I wish they had it when
I was born and raised, so that's why I dare say, I'm like, hold on. I can't think of anything, aside from, the college has, production, but this is like on another level because this is Center City. Yeah. This is like a whole lot going on in Violin. That's incredible. And,
we're truly giving these kids an opportunity to, expand their universe.
Wow.
Point blank. If I had to put it in the simplest, but yet the greatest form, is to expand their universe.
That's dope.
By their own mindset. Because if we give them an opportunity to create something, right? And let's take a little kid, he or her, growing up in an environment in a household where they felt like they had no chance, because they have no chance in the household. They see their parents have no chance in the world, and they go out in the world and they see that they have no chance in the world. Because I mean, let's face it, they're looking at their parents as their go-to, and if their go-to heroes, as I call them, because a parent is a child's initial heroes in the beginning. If their heroes, are crumbling to the pressures of the world, how much hope does the child, believe that he or she is truly going to have out there? So we want to be able to give fuel for ambition of a positive outlook on what their future may look like, and allow them to know that they are sole controllers of their own destiny, and they can create the future that they want to have. It all starts with envisioning in their mind, and then once they get that clear picture, having the tools to be able to manifest it into reality. It's no different than the relationship between an architect and a builder, and a painter and everybody else. They all need to work together, and this all starts with the architect's picture of what this is going to look like. So when you get that blueprint in your head, and if you are provided the proper tools to do what you need to do to make it happen, you're going to make it happen. Especially if you come from nothing.
I believe
because
that.
this is because if you come from nothing, you have
there's no other way.
You have a different type of
mentality.
And then your go get it is different than anybody else's go get it. And it's the exact same thing that we did. My story back to the stormtroopers and the music, and then creating the coming back, creating the business and stuff like that. It's seeing the blueprint clearly. It was downloaded to me. What I mean? And after seeing it clearly, I knew exactly what needed to be done to do it. And then I trusted the process. I trusted what was given to me. And that's another thing too with our youth. They have to trust it. So we got to teach them to be able to trust what is in their minds and in their hearts. And so, and trust that it was given to you. So if you see this, you can't do it. It's for you. And then if we walk them through their initial, doing processes and exercise them in the art of manifestation. Just like if we go to the gym and we lifting weights and we're exercising, that muscle becomes stronger. If we exercise them in the process of, positively creating, positively thinking, positively living, we change the scope of our entire, environment here.
I totally agree. There's so much, like you're saying, you're speaking, and I feel it. Like you have such intense passion. I feel it. I believe it because, I myself lived it. I'm from Violent too, and just the journey has been incredible. But it all just starts with believing, because some of your own closest people may look at you like you are nuts. You know what I mean? Like, I've had people, like, you just crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Hence, because the madness, I'll be crazy. I'll take it.
They can't see it. I always say, the problem is most people can't see until they see. But sometimes by the time you see with your eyes, it's too late. You gotta believe it when you see it in your mind. When that picture is being painted to you, like you said, if you're telling some of your friends, yo, I got this idea. All we got to do is just do a boom, 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 and I'm telling you, this is what's gonna happen. And you sum that up like a math equation, and you coming out with the right problem every time.
Like Einstein,
but they just can't see it. Perfect example. At one of the local alternative schools, there was a question thrown out to a classroom full of kids, and they were asked if they were given X amount of dollars, a few thousand, $1,000 or whatever, what would they do with it? And one kid said, well, I open a clothing store and I have this kind of sneakers, these kind of clothes there. And then the whole entire class was like, oh man, you don't know nothing. You don't know how to do nothing like that. Ooh, that's a bad idea. Kids, I'll go buy me this, or I'll go cop that and just do, and he was like, nah, I can do it, man. I believe it. All I have to do is move. And then one kid said, you don't even know nobody that has a store. which made things click. Like, you know what? To them, his idea for creating the store was far-fetched because they never seen it happen, and you don't even know nobody who has made it happen. So in that equation, you can't make it happen.
Yeah.
But he believed he could make it happen. But now, if you take that kid who believed that he or she can make it happen, and you keep them around the kids who say that they can't make it happen long enough, he's going to now disbelieve that he can make it happen himself as well. And see, and that's what we're doing. We want to empower him to be able to make happen what he's saying and what he believes he can make happen. And we want to change the minds of these kids who think that it can't happen. We want to show them that you can create whatever it is you want to create too.
Exactly.
And it can happen. And it can become very beautiful.
Yes. And sometimes it's just teaching them to believe in themselves when nobody else believes in them. Like, it's just, that is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
Because especially the youth, the influence is, is a swaying factor in their lives.
They don't know who they are. They have no idea who they are.
Yep.
You mean they're lost. Our original album for the Stormtroopers was entitled "Trapped in the City," right? And because we felt like we were trapped there, and me and Ron or whatever. But then when coming into the understanding that the only place that we were trapped was in our minds. We always had the key to open the door and get out and go to the rest of the world and go see what we need to see. How many people would, if you had a choice to be able to get your passport or a new pair of shoes, how many people where we from would choose the shoes? They'll choose those shoes because I can go somewhere with these, but you can get that passport and go around the world. But they in their minds they don't know how to weigh that logically. Because they don't believe in the opportunity or the ability to be able to go around the world. So again, Project Inspiration, it's our project to want to build and inspire these kids to be, as one of our team members said, locally grown but globally minded.
Yes. So we definitely have to get you back on the show because there's just so much. I definitely want to keep track on what's going on, and kind of just see where this journey leads and help you in whatever way I can. Once again, let people know where they can find you, and how can we donate to this cause.
Project Inspiration, again, that's Project PROJECT Inspiration INSPIR the number 8 TION.org is the website. And Project Inspiration spelled the same way on all of the social media networks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of that. And there's links to be able to donate to the cause on any of those pages. Come on, man, we have a responsibility to our youth, to our community. So again, as I always like to say, help us build to inspire so we can inspire them to build.
Yes. Jocovi, it was an honor and pleasure to have you on the show. So guys, 30 Minutes of Madness, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you again soon.
And that about wraps it up with my little sister, Millie Maddness. And you just witnessed 30 Minutes of Madness. Now, we talked about Jocovi Lindsey's nonprofit organization. Now, how can we donate? How can we help out? Let's hear it from the man himself, Mr. Jocovi Lindsey.
Hello, everyone. Once again, the name of my organization is Project Inspiration. That's Project, PROJECT, Inspiration, INSPIR, the number 8, TION. Don't forget to add that 8. And you can find out more information and how to donate at projectinspiration.org. We have some very good programs on there for the kids in and around our community. And our mission, we stand strong upon the platform of the arts and making sure that our children have an opportunity to expand their minds in a positive way and take that energy and then put it back into the community. So we hope that you can come out, help be a part of what we have going on, and help us inspire.